My name is Diego Tejeida. I'm a composer, keyboard player and sound designer, better known as a keyboard player for the English progressive rock band Haken. I've also been involved in other projects like Mike Pornoy's Shattered Fortress, Eric Gillette. I've been a full-time member of Haken for 10 years now. Over that period in time, we released 4 studio albums, 1 EP and a brand new live album. We're constantly on tour all around the world, visiting more and more territories every time we tour. However, right now we're bang in the middle of the production process of our 5th studio album, so each of us is recording in their respective studios. For every album, I always try to do things differently one way or another. That's just a way of keep things new and fresh for me. I believe putting yourself outside your comfort zone is challenging, but ultimately has a very positive impact on your creative process. You gain new skills that become part of your arsenal for future usage. Whoever has listened to my past works, they will know I'm a big fan of orchestral sounds. It is not unusual for me to use epic choir sounds, massive string ensembles, and of course, all the French horns that money can buy. I've been developing these orchestral sounds over the years, and these patches have become my go-to tools when it comes to recording big, emotive hooks. For this album, however, I made a conscious decision of not setting foot on this orchestral territory I'm so familiar with. Quite the contrary, my decision was that, for this album, I wanted to sound as analog and synthesized as possible, hence the usage of my tape machines, electronic organ, vintage synthesizers, and of course, my most used tool for this album, the MatrixBrute. The challenge for me on this album was to create a palette of sounds that was interesting and wide enough to enhance the big sections, and also punchy and with enough presence to cut through the mix when doubling guitar riffs. For instance, for the demo of one of the tunes, I initially recorded a French horn melody, kind of following a signature sound of mine I will normally go for. However, after deciding I wanted to avoid as much as possible the usage of orchestral sounds, I ended up in a position that I had to think of a sound that could replace that orchestral French horn I originally envisioned for the track. So I went to my MatrixBrute, started up a patch from scratch, and I ended up programming a synthesized French horn patch that had loads and loads of character. To me, it is super exciting to take a new approach, to use a sound I've never used before on any of my previous works. To me, that's what producing a record is all about. The MatrixBrute has been my most used instrument on this album. It's quite a beast. It combines all the warmth and character of an analog sound with all the flexibility and power of modern technologies. For instance, it is an extremely useful feature that you can use the modulation matrix to assign any parameter you wish to modulate, to be modulated with its multiple sources, like its 3 LFOs, the macro knobs, 3 envelopes. Everything is assignable at the touch of a button. It is just fantastic. Also, the fact that you can save your patches for future usage is a tremendously useful tool. I'm a big champion of never using presets, but always programming my sounds from scratch to save a particular section or tune. Being able to recall those patches whenever needed just makes the whole experience extremely fun and convenient. Normally, on a traditional analog synthesizer, this is not a tool you will encounter. For me, having tools that blend into your workflow seamlessly, it's paramount. Whether it's your instrument, your DAW, your effects processing, your AD converters, or your actual physical setup, they become an extension of your mind. You want your tools to make your creative process nice and smooth, not to make it slow and complex. To me, when you have that, that's when the magic really happens. I love to add multiple modulations to my sounds. I tend to add those modulations to taste throughout the section I'm playing. It's like adding an extra dimension to your expression. You have a melody, you have a harmony, you have a rhythm, but also you have a sound. You can blend the sound, you can stretch the sound, you can blur a sound, all sorts of crazy stuff. This ability is one of the perks of being a keyboard player. We have an enormous advantage of the sonic possibilities over the other instrumentalists. In incorporating the MatrixBrute so extensively into my workflow, the instrument has really become an extension of myself, kind of a part of my family.